Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce this coin. I believe it is Xelis, but I may be wrong. But I do know how to show you how to mine the crap out of it. So let's kind of take a look at this for a minute and see what's going on here. So this is based off a BlockDAG format, kind of like what Caspa does. The node and everything also kind of looks like Duro, which almost makes me think, you know, they forked Duro, did some Rust calculations, recoded things, and now they're running like a Caspa background kind of thing there. You know, don't quote me on this. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just a dumb miner, and we like to make money. So what we can see here is provide privacy on transaction and balances, enable smart contracts, scalable blockchain for daily use, and easy to integrate for developers. Now, number 2 here is the interesting part. This launched on CPUs, but then Mineco did release a private GPU miner that no one else could use that blew everything away. And now it looks like Allfather, which is an FPGA dev, made a CPU and a GPU miner, and they're both looking pretty close. GPUs are slightly better, but you are solo mining. If you're familiar with Duro, you're going to have to run your own node. Pools are being currently worked on though. So this is proof of work algorithm, and as I mentioned, this is CPU and GPU friendly. So let's just take a look at some quick hash rates here. So if I jump into here, here's my Octaminer rig. Now I don't know if any of these are actually legit numbers or not. My total is looking like in the miner what this is saying, 60.77 kilohashes. So, but an RTX 3090, I'm only getting like 2.9. So I might have to do a bunch of tweaking. Now this is that ETH modded A2000. It's actually getting 7.8 kilohash. You know, I got a 3060 Ti here hanging out at 10 kilohash, where my 3080 is only 2.9. Now I am locked at 1400 on the core. I do have a negative 300 offset, and I have my memory locked at 5001. Now looking at the CPU side of things, we can see that things are actually pretty close. You know, 3900X here is about 3.9, which is the same as some of those 3060 Ti, some of the 3070s. Again, I don't know how accurate those GPU numbers are. You know, some of these are hitting 5.1. The 7950X3D is 7.1. Some of these other ones are only 6.4 and 6.6. But, you know, between GPUs versus CPUs, the hash rate between them is actually fairly close together. Then, as most of you guys are pretty close to aware with Casper or something, we do have the BlockDAG. So again, reduces the rate of orphans, yada yada, all this crazy stuff. So again, there's some Casper technology on Rust going on here, as well as something kind of like Duro. Again, I have no idea exactly what's going on this because I'm not a coder. I don't know how to read code and stuff. Maybe some of you guys do, and if you have, let me know down in the comments section what exactly is all going on. All right, guys, I apologize for the long intro, but this is a new coin. It released 4 days ago, so new miners keep emerging all the time now. And there's a new CPU miner from Duro Luna, which seems to be the best one now. As you can see, my flight sheets are all blank because you're running everything in the background. So previously we were around 24, 25 kilohash in the dual epic. I am now at 54.17 kilohash. A 3900X went from about 3.4, 3.5 upwards to 8 kilohash. The downfall here, though, is you actually have to mine to the Duro Luna node, not your own node, and it is a 5% dev fee. So you got to keep that in mind as well. I do believe the GPU miner, which I forgot to mention earlier also, is at a 10% dev fee. So you're getting less dev fees on the CPUs also, and a bigger hash rate boost now. All right, guys, so let's get to some of the files. And I'm actually going to link everything to my website because YouTube in the description, it doesn't allow me to add commands and stuff. And as you can see here, based on the miner you want to use, here is the default Xelis one you got to set up, and here is the Duro Luna one. And you're going to need all these different commands in here. I also want to point out for dual epics, you are going to have to set the threads here with this -n symbol, 255. That's one thread less of the max, or it will not run. Now, when it comes to your normal CPU rigs, all your 3000, 5000, 7000, you don't need the end command at all unless you want to set threads here. All you need is this right here, and that's for both miners actually in HiveOS. So again, I'm going to have all of these things linked at my website because none of this stuff will show up in the description part of things, and it's going to mess you right up. So let's start with the node, because it is recommended to run your own node, the node wallet. There is a GUI wallet. It sounds like it's been having some issues. Maybe it's fixed now. I'm not sure. So we're going to be using the CLI. It's pretty self-explanatory and really easy to use anyway, but some of you guys may not like it. But here we can see version 1.93 mainnet. So what you're going to want to do, this will be a Windows node setup. You know, they do have the files here for Linux, but I am using Windows. So you're going to download this one right here, PC Windows gnu.zip. Once you've done that, you're simply going to extract it. Here you can see my node is already running. So once you get that downloaded, simply extract it, and you're going to end up with these files right here. You're not going to have a mainnet or anything because it has to sync first. Now you can do a fast sync, which is recommended, but you're going to have to make a bat file in order to do so. So simply bring up any type of notepad here. So we're just going to new, let's find text document here. That's that. We're going to get rid of it. I'm just going to put test here, and then I'm going to bring that down. So now we're going to edit this one into the boot file. So I'm simply going to come into here. I'm going to open this with Notepad, and we can already see my previous one, node start. This is all I have in here. So I'm just going to copy this over, right click, copy this, and I'm going to bring that into the test one we just did. This is Windows 11, so that's why you see all these tabs and stuff up here. I'm going to hit a space bar. Now the other way you can do this is simply copy your daemon right here. Like so, you can see you can go like that, right click, copy that, and then just add .exe to the end of it. That's what I did to initially do this. But now we're going to need our command to actually boot this fast. So here you can see allow boost sync. So we're just going to copy this like so, like that. Now it has mode in here. If you put this mode in here, it actually doesn't work. You got to remove that. That's why I'm only copying this part. And we're going to come in right here, and I'm simply going to go paste. Oops, come on. Oh, I'm on the, okay, never mind. I messed this thing up because I'm actually using, I'm on a VM here looking into this one and coming back onto this one. So my paste isn't there, but you know, you kind of get the gist here. What you got to do is simply run this command. So -- allow -boost -sync, and that's all you need. And it'll fast sync your node. It'll only take like 5 minutes, not even, to run. Then you can just simply shut it off here and then double click on it again. You can either run it like I'm running it, just with the node start, which is pretty much the same thing as double clicking here. I always like to have a bat file, but you don't have to. So once you run your node, you will get this. And now you need your default IPs. You'll see everything at the top here. You can see RPC server will listen on 000 port 8080. So that's the port you're actually going to point your miner to for mining on this, 8080. And to find your actual node IP, you're just going to come into here and type ipconfig into another file here, and it's going to tell you all your IPs. You need the local IP4 address of this node. I'm not going to bring this up. You're going to see a whole bunch of my network stuff, but that's how you get your IP from the node here. Or you can just look into your router or something and it'll tell you. But pretty much you mine to the node local IP of whatever you're running this node on, and then use port 8080. All right, so once you got your node all synced up here, you're going to need your wallet and your mining address. So the fastest and easiest way for anyone to do it is simply go into wherever you extracted it. I did make my own folder for it so I know where it was, and then just double click on the wallet like so, and here's all your parameters. Now I don't like to run an extra window, so I'm just going to open another plus here and navigate to where I did have it, so everything is in this one window, and I can go from wallet back to node, back to wallet. Both ways will work, though. The other way is obviously a lot faster and easier, but I'm going to show you how to do it this way. So now I'm just going to go into my documents here, like so. I'm going to ls this so I know what I'm doing. Then we're going to go cd space Xelis, and then ls again, cd space, and this is where it did extract into. So I'm just going to right click that. It'll copy it, control V, get in there, and I'm going to do one more. And now you can see this is the file we need right here. So here we go. We're going to right click that, cd space, enter that. Oh, I messed up. We're going to go cd space. Actually, we're not even going to go cd space. We're just going to go like that. We're going to run the actual command, and I got to add / enter. And now we're in the exact same spot where we were if we just ran it by ourselves. So here, for the first time ever, you're just going to simply hit the create go. So you're going to go create like this. If you know how to spell better than me, then it'll go a lot better. So we're going to go create, and then, oh wow, what is going on here? So CREATE, and then hit enter, and it'll go through everything. It'll ask you to make your wallet name. It'll ask you for a password. It'll give you your seed phrase and stuff. I don't want to recreate one. I'm all good, but if you were to open it up, now we're simply going to go into open here because I already have it made. We're going to hit enter. It's going to ask for my wallet name, so I'm just going to put in my wallet name like so, and then we're going to put in our password here. So I'll make sure I get my password right. Hit enter, it's loaded up, and there we go. We can see our balance. It's going to sync up. It might take a couple seconds at first because I just had it open not too long ago, so it's already synced up pretty much to my node. But here you can see all the commands that you need here. So here's your balance, your display address, your transfer all, transfer send. So if you want to send to the exchange, this is bought and sold currently on Xbitron. You simply just hit the transfer command, then it'll ask you, you know, the address to send it to, then it'll ask you what chain you want to use, and you just hit like the main that it says to use, so like Xelis, you're going to type in there, and then you're just going to say how many coins you want. It's very actually easy, and it gives you all the steps you got to do. I shouldn't have to go through them. If I do, maybe you shouldn't be using the CLI wallet, but it does ask you everything before you do it. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Now we're just going to look at our wallet address here. So I'm just going to show you one more time here, display address. And now you can see here's my address. Error executing command was not found because I messed up. So let's just do this again. Display address. There we go. So I messed up on the command here, but you can see this is my wallet address that I'm mining to. We're going to run through a node command. If you want to check on your actual miners, you can just do list_miners. And then this will give you the list of your miners here. You can see name Octaminer, 0 accepted. Since I started my node, it did find a block earlier, but now it says 0 because I restarted my node. So keep that in mind. But that's how you can kind of track your miners. Now let's show you actually how to set up your miner. And that's where all the gobbledygook, crazy links and commands and stuff all come in. All right, so I reset these 5 rigs here so I can kind of show you what's going on, because you can't see anything that's mining. You're actually going to have to track to make sure your miners are live by looking at your LA. And in theory, you should be around the same number on your LA as the threads your CPU has. Example, these are all 3900Xs. The LA is around 24 or so. You know, here we have 255 threads running on the dual epic, so we have 255 LA. So this is how you are going to track this if you're using the Duro Luna miner. So I'm going to show you how to set that up right quick. So we're going to come into here, and there's 2 ways to do it. If you want to do all your rigs at once, all you got to do is simply click right here and then run your run command right here. And I'll just bring that up really quick here. So we're going to go miner setup. Remember, the dual epic, you are actually going to have to set your threads to 1 thread less. In this case, N255 for 255 threads. So I'm going to copy all of this right here. I'm going to right click this, copy this, and now I would just paste that in right here and then hit run, and it'll apply it to every single one of my rigs. This is for CPUs, not GPUs. We'll look at the GPU miner in a bit. So I'm just going to go into rig 1 so you can kind of see exactly what it does. So I'm just going to close this out here. We're going to go into rig 1. I'm going to go into the run command just to do this one by itself. Hit the paste there, run this command here. It's going to do its thing, as we can see, rig 1. I'm just going to wait now, and it's going to start picking up on the LA. This means it is mining. So I'm just going to let it do its thing here. We'll wait a minute. Now, while we're waiting for that, I'm actually going to show you what it looks like on the rig itself. So I'm going to actually Hive shell start this rig, and then you can see exactly what the command does if you were looking at the rig. So you can run every rig in a shell, and then you can track it all, but it's kind of a pain. You're going to need a ton of tabs open. And on the plus side, you're getting free HiveOS this way because your rigs are just looking like they're idle there, but you're not getting anything in display. So we're running into here now, shell in the box, doing its thing. It's going to load up. Takes a couple seconds here. And we're simply going to paste the exact same command and paste from browser. Go like that, hit OK, hit enter. And now you can see it's going to download, it's going to connect it. And now here we are. We are now mining at 5.29, 6.84. Is it going to pick up more? It should be around 7 to 8 kilohash once everything really starts going. Maybe it's stuck at 6.8 now because I'm recording the video. We'll see what happens. So this is what it looks like in the background while it's actually mining. So I'm going to come back into our rig now. We can see the LA on rig 1 because we just showed you the inside of rig 2 of what your rigs are actually doing that you can't see. And now you can see our LA on rig 1, which I initially just ran the command here, is now picking up. So we know that this rig is mining. Now rig 2 is starting to pick up on the LA as well. So that is the Duro Luna miner, how you have to get it running. Now we're going to look at the Allfather, which is an FPGA team, I guess, that puts together bit streams for FPGAs. He slapped together a CPU and a GPU miner for this coin, and you're going to actually need 2 different versions. So the first thing you are going to have to do is go into here, set a wallet, add a wallet, type coin in the ticker. You're just going to type this, you know, Xelis if you want, or whatever you want to call it. And then simply I'll just put A on here, put in your address, put in whatever you want to name it so you don't forget it. Next step, you're going to apply that. We're going to go into our workers here just so you can see here. Actually, I'm going to go into my flight sheet here, and I'm just going to scroll down and show you exactly what my flight sheet looks like. So here you can see I have solo node GPU. That's what I named my wallet, and this flight sheet here. So solo node GPU, and I have a solo node CPU. I have one for each, and the reason is everything is exactly the same minus the version. So here you can see for the CPUs, this is thanks to Viper Labs for putting this together. Itopi there, he's been making these wrappers for people here, but you need 0.4.2 to run on your CPUs, and this is what you're going to need in the extra config arguments as well as your pool here. So again, all of these links and what things look like will be posted on my website, and you can pretty much copy and paste it. But here you can see --CPU for CPU only, --host. This will be your not public, your local IP address followed by port 8080, --wallet. This will be your wallet address you're mining to, and --worker, you know, the hashtag normal worker name thing that you use for Hive so that you can get your worker name at your node. Now, when it comes to the GPU side of things, it's a little bit different. Actually, it's exactly the same, except you need to use version 0.5.2 because as of this version, he removed the CPU miner. So it's not a dual both miner anymore. That's why you need 4.2 to utilize the CPU, and you can use the newer versions for the GPU. And you know, by the time this video releases, they might be both in the same miner again in like 0.56 or something. I have no idea. Things are changing constantly because this is very, very new. So you're gonna have to stay up to date, keep an eye on their Discord and stuff to see if new miners are emerging. Maybe a brand new miner out of nowhere will emerge, but this is the link you're gonna need to use for your GPU. You're gonna have to set your NV tool, you know, you set your off cores, your cores, and your memory here, and then everything else is the same here with your host, your wallet, and your worker name. So that's pretty much what the flight sheets do look like for this. Again, I will post, you know, I'll pretty much copy and paste this straight in. Make sure you do adjust your address here or you'll be mining to me. That's okay. If you want to mine to my address, I'm all for it, but I'd recommend using your own. All right, guys, so we went through HiveOS, which is most people will be mining this coin in Linux, but you can still mine it in Windows as well. You will not be able to use GPUs in Windows unless you use something like WSL, like you had to do with Cubic here. Now, I don't have enough space on my Windows boot. I did order a 2 terabyte Windows boot drive so I can reinstall Windows, put that on a bigger drive, and then I can install WSL and then show you guys how to do that. But right now, this is only for CPUs because I cannot utilize WSL right now. So here is for the Luna miner, which is the Duro Plus miner there. Or not Duro Plus, Duro Luna miner there. You're going to need to make a bat file. If you don't know how to make a bat file, it's simply hit a notepad. Then when you save it, simply click on Save As. Make sure you do go to All Files. Then at the end of whatever you name it, make you just go .bat. This will turn it into a bat file so you can actually use it. It won't be a text file. So make sure you do that. But here you're going to see you are going to need to put the Xelis Luna miner.exe, and these are the commands: --miner -address. This will be your wallet address here, and then you need --daemon -address, and this will be your daemon address here. Now remember, this mines to the dev's node itself, so you don't need your daemon address. Anything you put here will be deleted, but it will be about a week or so until he updates this, and it does sound like support may be coming to mine to your own node, so I'm going to keep this in this video so that you know that. But right now, it will eliminate this and only mine to the dev's node. And then simply double click it and you can see it's going to connect here. It's going to go on to online. It's connected, and now we're going to begin mining 12.53 kilohash on the 7950X. So now for the other miner, which is a lot better than it used to be. When it first released about 3-4 days ago here, we're only getting 1 or 2 kilohash on a 7950X in Windows, and the network hash rate was only like 25 megahash, and now it's hitting somewhere, it spikes to 3 gigahash. So it's a lot bigger than it used to be. But this is the same file package you get for your daemon and your wallet and everything. But you are going to have to make a bat file again for this Xelis miner here. So I'm just going to right click this and show you guys exactly what needs to be done. It's the exact same thing as the other one, except this time you do utilize your actual daemon address and it points and mines to your own node. Let's just take a look at the quick hash rate right here. You can pause that and see exactly what to put in here. We're going to put it in, as you've seen before, we were at about 12 kilohash. On this miner, we're only doing about 5.3 to 5.4 kilohash. So not quite up to spec like the other one, but again, this time tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, this one will have a boost, and miners are constantly changing because this blockchain is only 4 days old. All right, guys, so I know it was kind of all over the place. I was just trying to give you an idea of all the different miners, the configs to set them all up, and then you guys are really going to have to choose which one is best for you. Now, this time tomorrow, maybe next week, there could be new miners emerging. Everything could be updated. It's going to be all over the place. So it's pretty crazy with these new blockchains and how fast things change, especially with the devs that are on board with the miners right now. They're really updating things very, very fast. So hopefully this did give you kind of an idea of how to get going here. And once things do stabilize, I'll probably do an updated video depending on what things are looking like here. But right now, this is looking like probably the most profitable coin to mine right now, both CPUs and GPUs at the same time. So it's pretty cool to actually see both types of hardware making a decent amount of money here. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Rabid out.